Friends, today we are going to discuss something about virtualization. Even we have discussed before what is virtualization, because virtualization is a base for cloud computing. Actually, because of virtualization only, cloud computing concept comes to existence. And therefore, understanding virtualization is very important part for cloud computing. Now, we are going to discuss what is virtualization. Virtualization is a concept in which you feel something like reality, but it does not exist in reality. You have already learned virtual memory in operating system. I have given example before. In operating system, you feel that there is so much memory, but in reality, it does not exist. This is virtual memory. And how it works? It works on the basis of some concepts, and that concept we have to understand. I have given an example. If you are trying to read a large Word file, and suppose that much RAM is not available to fetch entire Word file in a RAM, because unless that file comes in a RAM, you cannot read it. And therefore, what happens? Only some part of that Word file is fetched in RAM. When you start to read it, what happens? Page swapping takes place. What is page swapping? Now, in page swapping, when you have completed first 10 pages, and suppose you are moving to the next page, 11th page, first page is removed from RAM and one more page is added below it. Only first 20 pages are taken from hard disk to RAM. When you reach to 11th page, first 2 pages will be eliminated, next 2 pages will be added. Again, when you are moving to the next page, first 2 pages will be removed, next 2 pages will be added. Now, this concept is called as page swapping. Swapping values from RAM to hard disk and again hard disk to RAM. Now, because of this swapping, you feel that entire Word file is available in RAM. But in reality, only some pages are available in RAM. This is virtual memory. By using similar concepts, this concept is applicable to RAM. In the same way, similar concepts are applicable for other resources, computing resources, and using this concept, we can use cloud computing. And therefore, I'm saying virtualization is the best for cloud computing. A small RAM can be utilized by multiple applications by creating virtual RAM, by using concept of virtual memory. In the same way, we can have virtual applications, virtual processing units, virtual storage spaces, and all those things comes under cloud computing. And now let us see how virtualization is useful in cloud computing. We have seen that there are 3 different parts of cloud computing deployment services. One is infrastructure as a service, second is platform as a service, and third is services as a service or softwares as a service. In all those 3 things, we are going to use virtualization. Let us go to the first part. Infrastructure as a service. Now, suppose you are going to use a powerful processing application and that much processing power is not available with you. What can be done? We can use processing power from somewhere else through the concept called as cloud computing. We can take second example. Suppose you are using your computer and now that much space is not sufficient for you. What can be done? We can use cloud storage. We can keep your videos, your documents somewhere on cloud, and later on, as and when they are required, we can download it and we can use it. Now here we can use storage, RAM, processor. All those things are hardware part, infrastructural part. We can hire, we can rent it as and when required. This is called infrastructure as a service. Why it is service? Because when you request for something more, you will get it. And when you don't want it, you can relieve it. You can release it. And that is concept. Therefore, it is called as service. Moving to the next, platform as a service. Suppose we are using Windows and I want to test something in a Linux. What can be done? We can use this Linux operating system inside a browser, or we can use some virtualization tools like VMware, virtual machineware, install it, and virtually you can create a small window. Inside that window, you can run another operating system like Linux. You are already using Turbo C. Now, Turbo C is a DOS-based operating system, and now how we are running that DOS-based operating system application in Windows by using another software called as DOSBox. Now, what is DOSBox? DOSBox installs DOS on Windows by creating a separate layer, and inside that particular window you are getting all features of DOS, disk operating system. Now this is platform as a service, operating system as a service. Now coming back to the software as a service. See, right now we are communicating through this video by using a Zoom application. Now what is Zoom application? Zoom application is nothing but a software that you are using from cloud. So you can use softwares as and when required. You can use that data as and when required. Now, right now we are communicating through this video. That is possible because of cloud computing, software as a service. Otherwise, we are not able to get it. Now, see, here also virtualization. Now you are feeling that I am giving lecture to you, and we are connected to each other. But in really, we are not connected. Virtually, we are connected. This is virtual mode of communication. And now, these everywhere we are having virtualization. Now virtualization means what? You feel that it is a part of your system, but in reality it's not part of your system. It is coming from somewhere else, from server, and you are using it. As it is not real part of your computer, we are calling it as a virtualization. Okay, now in detail how virtualization works for cloud computing, that we will discuss in next issue. Okay, for time being, what is virtualization? I will repeat again. Virtualization is a provision made for you which in reality does not exist or belongs to your own. It looks like your own, but in reality you have hired it, rented it from outside world, or you can call it as a from cloud, and therefore it is called as a cloud computing. Request for additional things and it will be provided when you need it. Once your job is over, you can cancel it or you can return it. So you can pay for only for your requirement. Even some cloud services are available free of cost. This is the example. We are now using a free cloud service which is provided by Zoom. Now, in the same way, some part of cloud computing are available free of cost, but it has certain limitations. When you need to use full-fledged availability of that resource, you have to pay for it. And that payment depends upon how much extent you need it. Only you have to pay for your requirement. You don't need to purchase the entire software, entire resource for yourself. Because once your use is over, that will be your dead investment. So to avoid such dead investment or to avoid the maintenance of those resources, most of the companies are now moving for using cloud services. What are the benefits of using cloud services? Already we have seen. But because of this virtualization, what is the benefit? You don't need to create your own infrastructure. You don't need to create your own investment. You have to hire it. And you are going to hire it from experts. That means what? You don't need to appoint your own experts because you are hiring. Suppose you are using a cloud database. Now database experts are working on it. You don't need to have your own database experts. You can directly use their services. The maintenance will be the part of cloud service provider, not the users. And therefore your user. See, these are benefits of virtualization. But how actually virtualization works, that we have to discuss. And we will discuss that part in the next lecture.